So how was your interview experience, since now like interviews will be starting? So can you just give us some heads up on what more questions were asked, how many panels were there? Hello everyone, welcome to CATKing. I'm Tikhe, and this is the Real Human of Week School series where we have Shivangi with us. And today we'll be talking about interview preparation. What was her experience of interview? So hi Shivangi, how are you doing?
I'm good, Achal. How are you?
I'm good too. So before starting the video, can you just brief us about yourself, where you're coming from?
So, yes, my name is Shivangi Srivastav, and I come from the city of Indore. I've completed my schooling there itself, and my graduation I pursued in Bachelor's of Mass Media from St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. And post that, I went on to work for Republic TV for 2 years as an operations executive. So I was working in the digital sales department of the company. And my major roles around there was brand solutions and client servicing.
Okay.
So this is what it was, and then beyond that, I just went to attempt for CAT.
You have really impressive profile. So I mean, how is MBA going on right now?
MBA, great. So I'm currently in Institute of Rural Management, Anand, IRMA. And I think IRMA was the best fit for me because I had always wanted to get into the development sector. And, MBA is not the ideal way to do it because it's mostly going to get you into corporates. But what IRMA has to offer is kind of unique because usually when we think of development sector, we're always told that it's going to dig a hole in your pocket. Right. But what IRMA does is that it makes you a management professional, which a professional who studies every other general management subject that is taught in any other B school. But what they also do is that they put you through a rural exposure and a corporate exposure. And additionally, there are a lot of subjects which are around the whole rural society and the development theories and all of those things. So I think what it makes us is a complete package. Right. I remember once Rahul sir had said in one of his videos that there is a dearth of ethical leaders in the industry. So I think that is where IRMA kind of fits in. So the life here is great. IRMA has single occupancy rooms, so that's amazing. And yeah, the campus is amazing. The campus is lush green campus. It's amazing to be here.
How is the campus life? I mean, very few students get to, in between of COVID, the campus life is the best part.
That's true. I mean, we also kind of, the whole term one, we were all like, kab bulaoge campus, please bula lo, please bula lo. That was obviously a fight. And so IRMA has the village fieldwork segment. So after term one, we were all sent to different villages across the country. Oh, wow. And after those experiences, which were obviously challenging in multiple ways, we had finally come to the campus. So it was even more of a delight.
That's amazing. Yeah. So how was your interview experience, since now like interviews will be starting? So can you just give us some heads up on what more questions were asked, how many panels were there, what was the duration of your interview, everything?
I think the duration was somewhere around 25 minutes. Yeah, okay. 25 to 30 minutes. And because I'm not from a technical background, I never faced very technical questions in any kind of interview. For me, it was more like a class discussion. They were just trying to test how much am I able to, kind of support my opinions with logic, or whatever I was saying with, I was supposed to sort of support it with logic, and how well I was able to reason with them. So, like from my IIM Ahmedabad interview, I remember that it was completely like a discussion, like a class discussion. So we got a topic in our written ability test, which was around why should Virat Kohli be given a paternity leave, and the whole rage around it. Okay. So because he's a cricketer and he's kind of doing a national duty. So that was the whole thing, and whatever I wrote in response to that question, that was what became my major point in the whole interview.
Okay.
So there were multiple counter questions, not just to see not just to prove you wrong as an interviewee, but just to see how well you're able to support your claims.
Right.
I think reasoning very well and being able to support your claims is one very important thing during interviews. However, it's also important that we don't, sort of end up arguing with the interviewer, because it has to be, if the other person is, beating you with logic, you should agree, because it's not, even after getting beaten with logic, if you just continue with your stand, then it's just being stupid. So I think that's also one thing. For me, it was always a very kind of a class discussion kind of an interview around issues, just generally journalism and advertising, those kind of questions. But one thing I think that kind of didn't work out for me, and I would say that, is that I was told that IIM Ahmedabad has a very high academic rigor, and would you be able to cope up with it, considering that you're from a media background?
Right.
So, subjects like maths and all of these things are kind of a requisite for the kind of subjects that we have in management. So then I told ki, I've scored pretty decently in maths when I was in 12th, and I'm sure I can reach out for help in case I face any kind of a problem. And then when I said that I scored decently, and then they gave me a differentiation question, and I couldn't do it. So that is where I feel there was a problem, because I did not remember a few formulas at that point. So
Right.
ये थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया.
So you have to
I
be
think that
prepared for
it's
anything
very important.
that comes.
It's very important to touch upon your subjects. I think that's a very important thing. Even in my SPJain interview, because I had applied for the marketing specialization, they were asking me questions around those only. And because I was from an advertising background, so I had a fair go. But then they were asking technical questions in those interviews, like what is segmentation, what is social marketing,
Okay.
and what are the segmentation tools? These kind of questions were asked.
So you
I
got
think
domain
CATKing does
questions in
have.
your you got domain questions in your IIM interviews as well?
No, domain questions were not asked in my IIM interview. Was completely class discussion.
Okay. Okay.
Just testing how well I was able to support my claims.
Any different questions that were asked to you? I mean, apart from that, you were not prepared.
So this was during my IIM Shillong interview. They took random 3 names that I was absolutely not aware of, and these none of those personalities were Indian. Okay. And I was not very aware probably at that point, and they asked me just randomly 3 kisi ka naam leke, they asked me what is common between these people, and I had no clue. So I think I am Shillong में there were like these kind of questions where I just went blank, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता था कि ये exactly है क्या, and you cannot even faff around these things because what will you say? It's not an opinion driven question. So I think those, general knowledge is kind of an important thing when it comes to IIM Shillong interviews, because IIM Shillong interview was not easy.
Right. I mean, how do you tackle that situation, like where you are and you don't know how to answer that question? Do you think that any tips that you have?
Tips, so I think the only thing is be honest. I mean, you can just say that you're not aware, unless it is something that you can take a guess about. So if there was a question in one of the SPJain interview, what do you mean by customer lifetime value? So, but I did not exactly know this answer because I was not aware of the term, but you can still make something out of the term because of, basic understanding of the customer or lifetime value. So I think that is where I took a guess and it worked well for me. So in those kind of situations, you can actually take a guess, but something which is so fact driven, you should rather just be honest, you are not aware.
Right. So how you prepared for your interview? Like you think that, if you revisit your interviews right now, you would actually, take something different or make some changes in your preparation strategies for your interview?
Definitely. So preparation was, I think CATKing helped a lot in that because I appeared for mock personal interviews, and the seniors that we had who were guiding us and taking our interviews, they kind of grilled us, and that actually helped because after those interviews, I was like, "कि हाँ ये भी पढ़ के जाना है, I have to research these things," and that made me thorough with my research before actually appearing for the interview. And lot of body language points also. Like I remember in one of the mock PIs, and there was the senior who asked me to sing because I said that I sing. So he asked me to sing, and I kind of hesitated for a moment, and it was visible on my face. You know, I was like, okay, and then I started singing. And okay also was not okay.
Right, right.
So that was something that he pointed out. So very minute things with your body language or with your answers. So you know how Arnab Goswami is kind of a debated person, and because I belong from that
Republic.
profile, I had kind of a smirk when I had a question around Republic on my face. So then that was also pointed out by the senior कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए because your smirk will give it out. So
Right.
I think these very little things about your body language matters, and it is something that CATKing में seniors they actually guide you very well. So I think that helps. One more thing that I would say is that which I feel like I could not give out in my interviews, which is why I would say that people should actually prepare for it, is that your acumen for being into the business, whole business administration domain as such should come out.
Right.
I feel like I gave more of a development vibe and more of an ethical vibe than I could have, I should have, sorry. So I think it's important that your whole caliber to be in a corporate and actually be a, kind of a street smart person, it should come out.
Right. So, what was your routine while preparing for the interviews?
So I was not working at that point. I was just I just involved myself into few classes, like just random building myself kind of classes. I was into music and I was into driving. So I think I woke up in the morning. I did few classes, and then after that, I just kind of read. I used to read newspapers. And apart from that, there was a lot of material given by CATKing, which was on the domain knowledge, marketing and finance and operations. So that is what I ran through. And there were sessions also in the night, which I used to attend. तो उन सेशंस में कई बार ऐसे जनरल नॉलेज टॉपिक्स डिस्कस होते थे लाइक एट आवर टाइम फार्म लॉज वाज अ ह्यूज थिंग क्योंकि देयर वाज अ ह्यूज and it was kind of expected कि उसके around questions those points used to come out in those sessions. Then there was उसके बाद का भी research I used to do थोड़ा बहुत. So yes, that was it. I mean, you don't have to be all day, all along. You don't have to be preparing for your interviews. Just few habits that have to be in your daily routine.
Okay. So right now, as interviews will be starting, do you have any tips or any motivation to give?
Motivation, I think just keep watching Rahul sir. I didn't miss his videos at all because there were multiple points where I felt like giving up on this whole MBA thing completely because I felt like I was not meant for it in some way. But then his videos made me feel that you can still be in the game.
Right.
So that's something that kept me going. Keep watching Rahul sir's videos. Apart from that, I would say be honest, but don't sound emotional in the interview. Just sound rational. Support your claims with logic. Don't be afraid. Confidence matters, but it's okay. I mean, even if you sort of have a moment where you're kind of weak in the interview, it's okay. They are there to take you at the end of the day. It's not like they won't. Don't bash yourselves too much, and don't compare yourselves with anyone. I think that's the advice that I would always give to anyone. Ki whenever you're sitting outside the interview room, or just, and nowadays it's not an interview room, and a lot of times you're just in the on the online mode only, you meet people. But usme bhi don't get intimidated by anyone. Just be yourself. In the interviews, your individuality is what's going to make you stand out, and not being like somebody else.
That is the best advice that you could, give out. If you have any questions, you just put down in the comments down below. Do like and share this video. And thank you so much, Shivangini, for telling all those best things. And yes, watch Rahul's video and all the best.